The teacher as an organizational leader. Organizational leadership. Leaders help set strategic goals for the organization while motivating individuals within the organization to successfully carry out assignments in order to realize those goals. In the school settings, the school leaders helps set the goals, targets for the school, and motivates the teachers, non-teaching personnel, and other members of the community to do their task to realize the school goals. Organizational leadership works towards what is best for individual members and what is best for the organization as the group at the same time. So organizational leadership does not sacrifice the individual members for the sake of the people, nor sacrifice the welfare of the group for the sake of individual members. Both individual and group are necessary. Organizational leadership is also an attitude and work ethic that empowers an individual in any role to lead, from the top, middle, or bottom of an organization. Applied to the school setting, the school leader helps anyone from the organization, not necessarily from the top, to lead the others. An example of this leadership, which does not necessarily come from the top of the organization, is the teacher leadership. Leadership versus management. Are leadership and management synonymous? Is a leader a manager, or is a manager a leader? If I am a good leader, does it follow that I am also a good manager? Or if I am a good manager, am I at the same time a good leader? Not necessarily. School head must be both a leader and a manager. So a school head leads the school and community to formulate the vision, mission, goals, and the school improvement plan. This is a leadership function. She or he sees to it that this plan gets well implemented on time and so ensures that the resources needed are there. The person to do the job are qualified and available. This is a management function. Imagine if the school head is only a leader. You have the vision, mission, goals, and school plan, but no implementation. So the plan is only good in paper. If you do the task of a manager only, you will be focusing on the details of the day-to-day implementation without the picture, the vision and mission. So it's big picture for connect and meaning. This means that it's best that the school leader is both a leader and a manager. Types of skills demand of leaders. Leaders use three broad types of skills. The first one is technical. So technical skills refer to any type of process or technique like sending email, preparing a PowerPoint presentation. The second is human. Human skills is the ability to work efficiently with people and to build teamwork. This is also referred to as people skills or soft skills. And the third one, conceptual. Conceptual skills is the ability to think in terms of models, frameworks, and broad relationships such as long-range plans. In short, conceptual skills deals with ideas, while human skills concerns relationship with people, and technical skills involve psychomotor skills and things. All ideal school leader possesses all these three, technical, human, and conceptual. So the leadership styles: autocratic, consultative, democratic, and laissez-faire. Autocratic. Leaders do decision-making by themselves. Consultative. Consultative leaders allow participation of the members of the organization by consulting them but make the decision themselves. This happens in consultation meetings called by school when they increase tuition fees. Sometimes education stakeholders get disappointed that their suggestions are not carried after school leaders have consulted them, so they do not understand that consultation does not necessarily mean approval of stakeholders' suggestions. Laissez-faire. In laissez-faire or free-rein leadership styles, leaders avoid responsibility and leave the members of the organization to establish their own work. These leadership styles lead to the kanya-kanya mentality, which is one of the weaknesses of the Filipino character. So there will be no problem if the situation is deal. Example, each members of the organization has reached a level of maturity, and so if the numbers are left to themselves, they will do only what is good for organization. On the other hand, it will be a chaos if each member will do as he or she please, even if it is the common good. Which leadership styles are participative, consultative, and democratic? So the consultative and democratic leadership styles are the only ones that allow for participation of the members of the organization. So between the consultative and democratic style is genuinely participative because it abides by the rule of the majority. Next topic is all about teacher leadership. So understanding the leadership. So what is leadership? What is leadership important? Why do we need leaders? Leaders born or made? So the basic concept of leadership is the ability to lead by Camus Diwan 2002. Leadership is the ability to influence the members of the group to achieve a goal by Robbins 2003. So the leadership is a person's ability to inspire confidence and support among the group of people that are needed to achieve organizational goals. That is by Kame and Maburn, 1992. Leadership styles and leadership traits. Leadership style used to manage a group of individuals. In addition, leadership styles refer to the methods of theories used to solve problems and make decisions, while leadership traits describe the characteristics and personality traits that are common among leaders or those in position of authority. Typically, leadership traits encompasses physical, emotional, social, and intellectual characteristics. So let's see the Lehman's leadership styles. You can see on the left side the style and phrase, the leader's way of working, underlying emotional intelligence competences, and when the style works best and overall impact and climate. And above is the commanding, pace-setting, democratic, affiliative, visionary, and coaching. So types of leadership: natural leadership, charismatic leadership, bureaucratic leadership, and the last one is the distributed leadership. So the first one is natural leadership. Appear as an influential person, often oldest, but most experience high interpersonal skills. Charismatic leadership. Group members perceive their leaders as a person who has a special or unusual quality, by Max Weber during 1947. The second, ability to solve problems or face a crisis successfully. Third, personality traits, oriented achievement, creativity, and innovation, highly self-confidence and self-involvement, need use influence on others. The last one, willing to risk. Bureaucratic leadership. First, structured and operates under specific procedures as established in an organization. Second, the leaders use official powers conferred upon them by appointment to lead an organization. Third, the purpose aimed at maximizing efficiency through rational management approach, by Weber, 1989. Fourth, bureaucratic leaders rarely explore new ways to solve problems. Ensure the procedures adopted by the organization are observed and followed by a task developed to higher level. Task-oriented and less focused on the individual within the organization. Distributed leadership. First, leadership activities are distributed in an interactive network between leaders and members in it. Second, create a spirit of cooperation and camaraderie among colleagues. Third, consider the most appropriate leadership styles for school and educational institutions. Large number of members were professionals. Fourth, through collaboration and practice of companionship workers, collegiality, they can benefit from the support and expertise of diverse colleagues, by Brown, Boyle and Boyle, 1989. Fifth, the decision is joint decision based on more comprehensive information, increased effectiveness. And the sixth, shared vision is the basis of the results together. Leadership of school and teacher. So first, the leadership school. The success of the school achieving school status, effective or outstanding schools, will be referred to the ability of the leadership of the school. School's traditional leadership model based on the hierarchical structure. Power and control focus on the leadership alone. Excellent school culture. First, school leadership is seen as collaborative effort. Second, teacher leadership can be seen in the management of school activities and instructional leadership. Next one is leadership guru. The concept of teacher leadership can be described as a model of leadership in which teachers are involved or have opportunity to lead. Teachers are able to guide or motivate other teachers to work together to enhance overall professional practice and student achievement level.
We are going to take a detailed look at self-awareness and leadership. So get something to write with and settle in, because this will be time well spent. Alex Lyon here. I have another video in this series about self-awareness in relationships that I will link to. This week, we'll look at 6 ways to develop more self-awareness for you and your leadership. And the bottom line is that better self-awareness will help you be at your best. I'm going to encourage you to take notes about yourself as we go and get actively involved. But if you want to just listen, then I'll put up a summary at the end of the steps that you can take. So number 1, look at your past job experiences and projects. And the question is, what did you like most about them? And then what did you not enjoy? In his amazing book called Range, David Epstein talks about a concept called match quality. He talks about how we should use our early work experiences to figure out what kind of work matches us best. Epstein says that we shouldn't look back at our past jobs or careers like we've wasted time. He says it's just the opposite. We can use our early work experiences to get clearer on what makes us tick, and that's self-awareness. I'll use 2 of my earliest jobs. One was as an office worker and one was a teaching assistant. And it really taught me that I love teaching and interacting much more than I like being in an office environment. Teaching had a much better match quality for me. So take note of what your earliest job experiences taught you about yourself. Number 2, make a list of what you believe are your strengths and your weaknesses. But don't answer this like you would for a job interview. Oh, one of my weaknesses is I'm a workaholic. Don't give answers like that. Get real. So in my early job as a teaching assistant, I found one key weakness was detail-oriented work, like proofreading. I was very bad at it when it came to the finest details. I really struggled. But I've gotten better since, but it's still not a strength. And one of my key strengths was setting big picture goals and making a strategy to get there. So I'm good at creating a plan and working that plan. So what are your strengths and your weaknesses, honestly? Number 3, on a related topic, what revs you up and what drains you throughout a typical day or week? So what revs me up are 3 things: interacting with people socially, working on projects together, and any experiences where I'm learning and growing and creating something new. So when I talk about those, my wife says I get really excited. But what drains me is what I call maintenance. I don't like working to keep something steady over time, doing the same thing over and over again. So question, what gets your motor running versus what makes you want to take a nap? Are you currently working in an area that gets your motor running or not? And why not? So let's transition now and talk a little bit about what other people say about you. I remember this guy in an interview was asked if he thought he was controlling. And he said, "No, I am not controlling." And then the interviewer said, "Well, what would other people say? Would other people say you were controlling?" And he replied, "Oh yeah, other people would definitely say I'm controlling." So we learn a lot by getting other people's perceptions about us. So the next 3 tips do this. Number 4, start with past feedback. What past feedback have others given you, good or bad? So in the past, I was told by somebody that I'm good at looking at a situation and understanding the 1 or 2 small adjustments that would make the most positive change. Now, I did not realize that. That feedback helped point that out. Now, on the other hand, I receive feedback that I sometimes show my frustration, especially when other people are acting badly. Like if somebody is acting up in a professional context, I can sometimes lose my patience and confront them really quickly when I should just give myself time to cool off. I grew up in Rhode Island, and people from Rhode Island have a reputation of being ready to have a conflict. So that's an area that I want to work on. So for you, what's the past feedback you've received about positive and negative areas? And make note of it. You can also be really brave and ask a few trusted people for feedback currently. Ask them, say, "I'm looking for your feedback. Be honest. What am I good at? What do I need to work on?" And give them time to think about it and then follow up with them about it later. And when they answer, be a good listener. Don't get defensive and try to convince them otherwise. Ask them to tell you even more and take notes to show them you're serious. I recommend asking a few people so that you can see a pattern in what they say. I've done this several times in my career, and I've been consistently told I'm good at leadership, but I sometimes am too slow to take the lead. And I do hesitate sometimes because I don't want to come across as pushy, and I want to see if anybody else is willing to step up. That's probably the key thing I'm working on right now. When I see a need, I just take action. That's what I want to work on. So who could you ask? Write a few names down of people you trust and respect. And number 6, how do you respond to stressful situations and increased workload? Higher level leadership comes with more responsibility. How do you act when a project pushes you? Usually we do one of 3 things: fight, flight, or freeze. So let's start with fight. Do you start to control others or resist? Do you blame others and point the finger? Or is it flight? Do you need to get some space for yourself and think about it, or just take off for a while? Or do you freeze? Do you just shut down and go into a zoned out passive state? So how do you respond to increased workload and stress? So here's the whole list of ways you can develop self-awareness for your leadership. I recommend you pause for a few minutes and work on at least 2 or 3 of these right now before moving on. Even a few extra minutes invested on this will really help. And as I said, when we get really clear on what makes us tick, it's easier for us to be at our best. And I'd love to hear anything you discover about yourself in this process in that section below the video. So God bless, and I will see you soon.